Chapter 1166. White Form, Immortal Snake. Come, even if I die, I will only die in the battlefield. Yi Fan shouted. His eyes were shining with a threatening light. The demons licked their lips. They gritted their teeth. They were going to charge up, wanting to kill Yi Fan and cut him into pieces. But Bai Ningbing suddenly said, "Isn't it too boring to directly kill him? Go one by one." These words saved Yi Fan's life. It greatly delayed the timing of his death. After spending so much time with Bai Ningbing, a demonic path expert who knew of her personality stepped up with shining eyes. "Since Boss White Demon wants to watch a show, allow me to kill this person. As long as the boss is happy, it will be our fortune." The demons heard this and all mentally badmouthed at this demonic path expert for being shameless. They were envious and jealous. Why did they not speak first? This was the best chance to bootlick. But soon, they no longer had such thoughts that Yi Fan was in a desperate situation. But he displayed great might, killing a number of demonic path Gu masters. Even though his methods were useless against Bai Ningbing, they were more than enough to deal with the rest. Interesting. Bai Ningbing watched the entire battle while relaxing on the bamboo chair. It was as if the people dying were not her subordinates, but strangers instead. Yi Fan felt a chill regard her aloof nature. He felt disgust towards her. This white demon might look like a peerless beauty, but she has a vicious heart. She cannot compare to Lady Xinci. Birds of a feather flock together. The black demon guy who was with her is likely not a good person either. Suddenly, Yi Fan screamed that it turned out that his right arm had been pierced by multiple icicles from the inside. At once, his entire right arm was pierced, flesh was exposed, his pale broken bones could be seen, his blood was about to squirt out, but it was frozen by the frost energy that Yi Fan's right arm was crippled. "All right, continue," Bai Ningbing said plainly. The demons had low morale, but seeing that Yi Fan's right arm was crippled, they saw hope again. A few more entered the battlefield, trying to take advantage of his weakness. But Yi Fan got bolder as he took wounds. He ignored his injuries, fighting while disregarding his life. Meanwhile, the demonic path Gu masters were fearful for their lives. They did not dare to fight directly. They were slowly losing. Some were defeated, while others were killed by Yi Fan when he had the chance. What do I need such useless people for? Bai Ningbing's eyes flashed as blue light flickered in them. The few demonic path Gu masters who were defeated and still alive did not even get a chance to shout. They were frozen into icicles, dying on the spot. Bai Ningbing was fierce and ruthless. The Gu masters were trembling in fear. Even Yi Fan felt a chill in his heart. Bai Ningbing pressed lightly with her right hand. The four snowmen noticed and quickly lowered the bamboo chair. Bai Ningbing slowly stood on the ground, looking at Yi Fan with her hands behind her back. The demons were overjoyed. Looking at this, Bai Ningbing was going to fight. Yi Fan smiled bitterly. Bai Ningbing's terrifying strength made him feel deep despair. There always exists someone stronger than you. I was too overconfident. I deserve the fate of dying here. But before I die, may you answer a question that I have? "Oh." Bai Ningbing looked at Yi Fan, assessing him as she said plainly, "You are quite brave. Few can be so unmoved in the face of death." "Very well, go ahead. I want to ask, what kind of person is Black Demon?" Yi Fan asked the deepest question in his heart. Bai Ningbing frowned. All along she had been having a cold expression, but this change in her expression showed that she was not calm on the inside. Bai Ningbing looked at the moon in the sky, dragging her words. Yi Fan focused, listening attentively, but Bai Ningbing showed a mocking and cold gaze in her eyes. Yi Fan stared with his eyes wide open. He was instantly frozen into an icicle. Bai Ningbing looked at the night sky and bright moon. After a few breaths of time, she retracted her gaze and walked away. Behind her, Yi Fan's entire body was frozen in transparent ice. He died. The demons were silent. They were like frightened cicadas. But Bai Ningbing only took a few steps when a peculiar black aura appeared behind her, causing her silvery hair to flutter in the air. "Oh." Bai Ningbing's blue eyes shrunk to pin size. She turned around and realized that four figures had suddenly appeared behind Yi Fan all of a sudden. Among them, one had an ugly appearance. He was an immortal zombie. Placing his arm on Yi Fan's shoulder, he was using an immortal killer move. The peculiar aura that Bai Ningbing sensed earlier came from it. Bai Ningbing's hair was standing. Her battle intent rose to its peak at this moment. Gu immortal aura burst out from her body. Soon, her body started to change. Her Adam's apple appeared. Her body grew taller. Her soft and plump chest shrank and became a muscular male chest. Her face had turned into one with a sharp dagger-like appearance. Bai Ningbing, your phantom aperture was given to you by my shadow sect. It can suppress the transformation path down marks in you and revert you to your male body. It can also allow you to become a false immortal and own green grape immortal essence. You will be able to refine and use immortal goo. But now, you want to use this phantom aperture to fight me. Ing Wu Xie chuckled. A member of Shadow Sect? Bai Ningbing squinted. A dangerous cold light was flashing in his eyes. As he said that, Yi Fan was revived by Ing Wu Xie. The ice around his body had turned into water. He sat on the ground weakly, gasping loudly with a pale expression. The feeling of life and death. He could feel entirely what true horror was. His mental state was heavily affected. He could not control himself. You cannot kill this person. Ing Wu Xie looked at Yi Fan plainly that he had luck inspection immortal goo. He could see Yi Fan's abundant luck. Ever since they escaped from Eastern Sea, he had been hiding inside Shirnu's immortal aperture, devising methods to deal with Fang Yuan's investigative killer move. Even though there was not much success, after Ing Wu Xie saw Yi Fan, he could feel a resonance in their luck. He knew that their luck was connected. Fang Yuan is the owner of Spring-Autumn Cicada and was a tool of heavens. Will, he returned from the future and knows who has great luck. Killing Yi Fan would harm my own luck. As for Bai Ningbing, he is under Shadow Sect's alliance agreement. I am not afraid he will turn on us. He also has one of the 10 extreme physiques. He would be very useful in saving my main body. Ing Wu Xie thought over this, while he suddenly tossed out a rank 5 mortal goo. White form immortal snake. Bai Ningbing received it with a perplexed expression. He recognized this goo worm, which had left a heavy impression in him. This is a crucial clue in the old bed of the heaven surveying 5 Xiangs. Bai Ningbing, you are the last bloodline descendant of Bai Xiang. You have the proper status to participate in the bet. Ing Wu Xie said slowly. Bai Ningbing was silent before asking. This is the reason why your shadow sect is scheming to rope me in. Ing Wu Xie did not answer. He only moved as he left this place. He Lu Lan, Shirnu, and Tai Bai Yunsheng followed closely after him. Bai Ningbing gritted his teeth. He restrained the cold light in his eyes as he followed them. Yi Fan was left behind, kneeling on the ground with his arms supporting him, stopping him from collapsing. As he gasped heavily, as for those demonic Pathgu masters, they were all like statues. When the wind blew, they turned into rotten black mud. Northern plains become Dragon Mound. Sir, you have come to help us. Our Chu sect is extremely grateful. A strength Pathgu immortal greeted Fang Yuan respectfully. Fang Yuan nodded, looking at the person. Before encountering Fang Yuan, in order to get Reckless Savage's true meaning and increase his strength path attainment level, Chu Du had spent a lot of time and effort to nurture mortal Gu masters, to help them become Gu immortals. As time passed, he gained a good number of strength path Gu immortals. Chu Du treated them as disciples and casually created a sect, naming it Chu Sect. Even though Chu Du is nurturing these strength path Gu immortals, it is not his aim. Strength path is declining, and these strength path Gu immortals lack immortal Gu. They are not a threat. Fang Yuan assessed as he looked at become Dragon Mound in front of him. This mound was short and flat. It did not look amazing, but it was a true land of fortune. In become Dragon Mound, there were lots of transformation path down marks. These transformation path down marks could allow the living beings staying here to transform into dragon beasts. There were large numbers of dragon goo that were produced here before, like golden dragon goo, water dragon goo, earth dragon goo, dragon claw goo, dragon breath goo, dragon pearl goo, and so on. Unfortunately, after He tribe was destroyed, this place was ransacked by several Gu immortals. But in the last few months, Bai Zhu tribe took control and started to develop, sending Gu immortals to guard become Dragon Mound, allocating resources to rebuild it and return it to its former glorious state. This was one of Bai Zhu tribe's important resource points. I have already investigated clearly. This place was originally guarded by He tribe's 4th Supreme Elder. But the developments he had made here were taken away by Baizu tribe's Gu immortals, no longer present. He tribe's fourth supreme elder has rank 7 cultivation level. But the Baizu tribe Gu immortal sent here only has rank 6 cultivation level. It is good for us to act. We will attack this place. Everyone is already in position. We just have to attack and fight the first battle. As long as we deal a huge blow to Baizu tribe, it will surely make Heavenly Lord Baizu wary and give up on Fan Grotto Heaven, returning to guard his territory. Chu sect's Gu immortals continued to talk, feeling excited. If Heavenly Lord Baizu was still a lone cultivator like before, Chudu might have given up on defending Fan Grotto Heaven already. But now that he was taking over tribe and creating his own righteous path super force, even though his territory was expanding rapidly, he gained a weakness. Strength and weakness in this world were relative, like in the past, when Zombie Alliance took revenge on old ancestor Shui Hu, blazing heaven. Demonists did not dare to fight him head-on, but they looked to trouble Snowy Mountain's demonic path Gu immortals, plundering their immortal materials and ruining their collection. Before long, old ancestor Shui Hu could not take it anymore. He had to give in to Zombie Alliance. Chu Du had both brains and brawn. His tactic in dealing with Heavenly Lord Baizu was definitely the best one. However, the actual effect would depend on how much damage Fang Yuan and Chu sect's strength path Gu immortals can do. Chapter 1167, Become Dragon Mount. Northern Plains, outside Become Dragon Mount. The strength path Gu immortal from Chu sect continued. It is not easy to get information on this Gu immortal from Baizu tribe. Their Gu immortals all live inside Heavenly Lord Baizu's Grotto Heaven. They rarely move around in Northern Plains. It turned out, when he was still speaking, Fang Yuan had already flown out. Quick, come back. Our battle plan has not been established yet. Don't be rash. We might have 2 people on our side while the enemy is alone, but they have the territorial advantage. Become Dragon Mound has a set of Gu formations that can allow them to defend, as long as they last for a moment. There will be an endless stream of reinforcements from Baizu tribe. The Chu sect Gu immortal quickly transmitted. He was extremely frantic. Fang Yuan did not reply to him. He flew into the air and called out, Baizu tribe, come out. My Chu sect is taking over Become Dragon Mound. What Chu sect? Never heard of it. You dare to cause a scene in my Baizu tribe. A young Gu immortal appeared on Become Dragon Mound, showing intense rage. We're doomed. The Chu sect Gu immortal had his head in his hands, showing a defeated and aggrieved look. Why did Master find such a person? He is too rash. He is just too rash. The situation was good earlier, Sai? He shook his head continuously. Right now, they had no choice but to attack forcefully. The Chu sect Gu immortal was about to appear when Fang Yuan attacked. Boom! A giant hand flew out, crushing the air like an imposing mountain. It had an incredible aura, be it the Chu sect Gu immortal or Baizu tribe's Gu immortal. They were staring with dumbfounded expressions at this move. The Baizu Gu immortal was the first to react. He shrieked, Rank 7 battle strength. You, a senior that is pretending to be weaker, aren't you ashamed? Saying so, he frantically activated Become Dragon Mound's defensive Gu formation. After activating the Gu formation, Become Dragon Mound shone in layers of bright light. The entirety of Become Dragon Mound was enveloped by it. Fang Yuan snorted. The strength path giant hand ignored it, slamming on the formation. Bam, bam, bam. The strength path giant hand had incredible power. Everywhere it went, the Gu formation collapsed without resistance. It could not even last 5 breaths of time. Become Dragon Mound's defensive Gu formation was crushed by Fang Yuan. It became extremely damaged. The Baizu Gu immortal had a pale expression. He was only rank 6. Seeing Fang Yuan's strength, he did not dare to stay. He did not speak, rushing away immediately. Fang Yuan did not chase him. He flew towards the sky above Become Dragon Mound. Become Dragon Mound was completely ruined, but it was fine. Fang Yuan had landscape as before Immortal Gu. However, he could not use it in front of others. Thus, Fang Yuan used another Immortal Gu. Pulling Mountain, Rumble, under the Chu sect Gu immortal's shocked gaze. The entirety of Become Dragon Mound was pulled up by Fang Yuan before he opened his immortal aperture's entrance and stuffed it inside. He actually took away Become Dragon Mound entirely. Chu's sect's Gu Immortal stammered. He was completely incoherent at this point. He finally realized Fang Yuan's words earlier were true. He was not exaggerating to raise morale. Junior pays respect to senior. The Chu sect Gu Immortal lowered his head, flying into the air as he greeted Fang Yuan again. He was very careful. In a state of nervousness, Fang Yuan revealed rank 6 Gu Immortal aura, but the Chu sect Gu Immortal was extremely suspicious of it. He felt that Fang Yuan was one of those senior great experts who had a strange interest in pretending to be weak. Fang Yuan smiled lightly, looking in the direction of Fan Grotto Heaven. He did not do anything else. This action was huge. Baizu tribe would definitely act rapidly, exacting revenge with all their strength. Retreating now was the safest option that he had already obtained become Dragon Mound anyway. As for Baizu tribe's Gu Immortals, there were only a few of them. They could not be killed. It was okay to kill He tribe Gu Immortals, but killing Baizu tribe Gu Immortals would truly enrage Heavenly Lord Baizu. That was not a wise decision. Soon, news that the tribe was getting attacked spread to Heavenly Lord Baizu's ears. Oh, it seems that Chu Du's force is not small. Heavenly Lord Baizu was shocked. A total of 8 Gu Immortals, all of strength path. Chu Du, you have some deeply hidden plans and motives. Heavenly Lord Baizu squinted, speaking in an eerie tone. This rank 8 Gu Immortal had to admit, he had underestimated Chu Du. Not only did he underestimate Chu Du, he also underestimated his force. Once news got out, the entire Northern Plains Gu Immortal world would be shaken. Nobody had expected that Chu Du would gather such a group of people around him. However, if you want me to retreat like this, you are simply looking down on me. Heavenly Lord Baizu. Heavenly Lord Baizu did not waver at all. He continued to stay, considering all sorts of methods to try and enter Fan Grotto Heaven as expected. Once information got out, the Northern Plains Gu Immortal world, which had just calmed down, went into a commotion again. Baizu tribe was attacked by an unknown force. It suffered a huge loss, losing a number of its resource points. The biggest loss was become Dragon Mound. The area had simply turned into a giant pit. Baizu tribe was like an enraged lion. It bare its fangs and claws, wanting to take revenge, but Chu sect's Gu Immortals came and left quickly. With a well-executed battle tactic, they did not lose any members. That a few days later, Fang Yuan looked at the battle reports in Langya Blessed Land. This means, Fan Grotto Heaven's danger has not been resolved yet. After all, this time, even though Chu sect attacked at full force, causing a huge commotion, Baizu tribe did not suffer a huge loss. The biggest loss was become Dragon Mound. The rest of the areas were originally quite damaged. They had not been fully restored. And because these strength path Gu Immortals have few immortal Gu, their battle strength is low, they could only cause little damage. All in all, the commotion is greater than the effect. No wonder Heavenly Lord Baizu could endure it and continue to attack Fan Grotto Heaven without going back. This way, the situation was in a deadlock. The fight over the ownership of Fan Grotto Heaven was split into two battlefields. Point one was Chu Du defending Fan Grotto Heaven, while Heavenly Lord Baizu tried to invade it. Chu Du was very passive, as Heavenly Lord Baizu had the initiative. The other was Chu sect attacking Baizu tribe's territories. Chu sect had the initiative, while Baizu tribe had to defend. In conclusion, Chu Du's side is weaker. Fang Yuan's side. Heavenly Lord Baizu with rank 8 cultivation level was much stronger. The reason why he could not display it was because he was trying to invade the Grotto Heaven of an even stronger rank 8 Gu Immortal. Gu Immortals with more Dao marks would face more difficulty in entering Blessed Lands or Grotto Heavens. Rank 8 Gu Immortals could not even enter Blessed Lands. If they tried, the entire Blessed Land would burst from exceeding its capacity. And even though Baizu tribe had been created recently, it did not have a weak foundation. It took in many members of He tribe. Its combined strength exceeded Chu sect. Chu sect was able to have the advantage the first time because it launched a sneak attack. It caught the Baizu tribe members off guard that if they tried this again, the other party would be wary. It would be less easy and safe. At this rate, there is a high chance of Heavenly Lord Baizu taking over Fan Grotto Heaven. However, Chu Du still has his trump cards. Fang Yuan decided to wait and see that a few days later. The entire Chu sect was worried about Chu Du's safety. They wanted to launch another attack and invited Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan rejected them, telling them not to act rashly. Chu sect did not listen to Fang Yuan, but soon, Chu Du sent a letter to restrain them. Even though Chu Du was being attacked by a rank 8 Gu immortal, he had a clear mind. He could look at the situation and assess it accurately. This move was very strategic. He preserved Chu sect's foundation. The situation fell into a deadlock again. Next, it will depend on how Chu Du reacts. Fang Yuan did not believe that the great domination immortal would stop here. He forgot about this matter for the time being. The fifth earthly calamity was already over. His focus was on developing his immortal aperture. After taking Become Dragon Mound, Many Southern Border obtained another named mountain. Even though Become Dragon Mound did not look amazing, it had deep foundations. It successfully overthrew Immortal Succession Mountain, becoming the second most valuable mountain after 5. Light Mountain. In Mini Western Desert, there was a rotten dark swamp, filled with dark path Dao marks. Fang Yuan had already used enough self-will goo to completely cleanse away the lingering heaven's will in it. Other than that, in Mini Eastern Sea, there was a new blood lake that was isolated from the outside sea. This blood lake had the blood of desolate beasts and goo immortals added by Fang Yuan. Blood asset immortal goo was placed in it, floating inside the blood lake. This immortal goo had been overused by Fang Yuan in a previous calamity. It was heavily damaged. Thus, it was placed here, recovering slowly. Fang Yuan used his divine sense and looked at it, realizing that blood asset immortal goo was still quite far from a full recovery. But this blood path immortal goo could already be considered easy to heal. Other immortal goo would require parallel refinement methods to recover. Not only would the difficulty be high, the risk would also be high. Among my Dao marks, the one most suited to me is my high number of blood path Dao marks. But I only have one immortal goo, blood asset. If I can refine blood deity. Fang Yuan's plan of refining blood deity had been going on for some time. Inside Langya Blessed Land, White Hair Continent, Yellow Hair Continent, and Black Hair Continent had been in war for many years. Hold on. You have to persevere. Our reinforcements are here. The leader of the black-haired Goo Masters shouted, attempting to raise the morale. On this battlefield, only a small part of the black-haired army was left. The rest of the place was occupied by the allied white-haired and yellow-haired armies. Black-haired Goo Masters fought bravely, but they had limited troops. They were shrinking in number. Croak. Right at this moment, the croaking of a toad resounded in the battlefield like thunder. Whoosh, 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 a huge tide flowed, sweeping the battlefield. Everywhere it went, countless white-haired and yellow-haired troops were washed away. At once, the allied army suffered huge losses. A black-hair rank 5 Goo Master. Oh no, it is that toad Goo Master Fang Zheng. The allied white and yellow-haired armies were in chaos. We are saved. It is Fang Zheng. The black-haired Goo Masters had complex emotions. Under everyone's gazes, Fang Zheng stood on the back of the river-swallowing toad. He was dressed in a blue robe, entering the battlefield with a rush of his tides. Rumble. He suddenly attacked. His offense was extremely strong, rampaging in the battlefield. Everywhere he went, troops fell over their horses. The allied army was sent into chaos by him. Chapter 1168, Lightning Refinement. Fang Yuan. You have finally become a strong expert. In all 3 continents, your current strength is at least top 10. Fang Yuan's fake will purposely praised in his mind. Fang Zheng replied plainly. With enough accumulated growth, it happens naturally. These last years, he killed mercilessly. Under the pressure of life and death, he was gradually understanding Fang Yuan's emotions when he slaughtered his clan. He had no choice. Either you die or I die. Fang Zheng was still unable to forgive Fang Yuan, but he understood the reason why he did it. His deep hatred had faded slowly as time passed. After Fang Yuan's fake will helped him to escape danger time and time again. Run. We are not Fang Zheng's match. Soon, the allied white and yellow-haired Goo Master army broke apart. Fang Zheng did not talk to the black-haired Goo Masters. He cleared out the battlefield and left, leaving behind black-haired Goo Masters who were looking at him with complex expressions as he left. So he is that rumored human Goo Master. Amazing. In the blink of an eye, victory was decided. Unfortunately, he offended the higher-ups and is not a hairy man. No matter how big his contributions are, he can only reach this stage. Even though I am grateful to him, for my own future, I should keep a distance from him. Langya blessed land. After receiving the fake will, Fang Yuan had an understanding expression. Oh, it seems that Fang Zheng is going to be ready soon, but blood deity's recipe has not been completed. Should I divert some of my energy towards this? Originally, according to Fang Yuan's plans, he was going to use the light of wisdom to deduce blood deity's recipe. It was the fastest way. But the light of wisdom was unusable now. Fang Yuan might as well deduce it himself. It would be more quickly this way than trying to use it again. But thinking about it, Fang Yuan gave up on this alluring option. Firstly, he had He Fan's time path true inheritance. He did not lack methods. Refining blood deity was only icing on the cake, but on the other hand, blood path was not doing well in the current period. Once he used it, he would be chased down by all kinds of Gu immortals. From Fang Yuan's perspective, the 5 regions chaotic war was the best time to display blood path again. Ever since he took become Dragon Mound, these last days, Fang Yuan had been waiting for Chu Du to act while cultivating diligently. His profits were starting to decline. Because a large number of the resources in He Fan Grotto Heaven had already been sold by him, that a lot of the resources in He Fan Grotto Heaven could not grow in Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture. He could only sell them in exchange for the things he needed. This way, his profits increased rapidly. But these were non-replenishable resources. After a few months, he ran out of them. Even though Fang Yuan earned a lot of immortal essence stones, he also used a lot of them, and earthly calamity every 2 months was simply too frequent. And recently, Fang Yuan had fought in He Fan Grotto Heaven, Eastern Sea, and become Dragon Mound. He used rank 7 immortal Gu. Thus his green grape immortal essence expenditure was huge. And because he was developing his immortal aperture, he had invested a lot in it. His immortal essence stones came and went like a flowing river. Even though the quantity was huge, he was not left with much to keep. Currently, the only thing that can allow me to grow rapidly is to use the light of wisdom after settling the soul path trap in my immortal zombie body. Other than that, I can obtain information path methods to resolve the alliance agreements that I have. It will allow me to deal with the different forces and relationships more freely. I would be able to make full use of them. I can also rise to rank 7 and obtain Red Date Immortal Essence. It will greatly lower my expenditure and give me a qualitative growth. Fang Yuan was aware of his options, but that did not mean he could easily succeed in doing them. He was at an impasse in his cultivation. Unless he had a fortuitous encounter, he could only get through these hurdles slowly. But how could fortuitous encounters come whenever he wanted them? Even if they did, Fang Yuan had to be wary of whether they were part of Heaven's Will's plot. Fang Yuan spent 2 hours cultivating his soul to in the remaining time. He would use Sword Eyebrows Immortal Gu to increase his number of Sword Path Down marks, or go to the outside world and use Star Eyes Immortal Gu to refine the stars in Black Heaven. Other than this, he had to spend a lot of effort in training his Time Path killer moves to gain more proficiency to use them in actual battles that he was mainly working on developing his immortal aperture. Speaking of which, the Sovereign Immortal Aperture's initial stage arrangements were not completed yet. The reason was that he had too many immortal Gu. For him to be self-sufficient and not rely on the outside world, he would need to rely on the production in his Sovereign Immortal Aperture to feed all of his immortal GU at that time. His initial stage developments would be completed. Unfortunately, Fang Yuan had many rank 8 immortal Gu. He had just started gathering the food of Attitude Gu and Wisdom Sword Immortal Gu. There was no follow-up yet that he had no choice. This was his limit. Every day, he was making the most of every second. He was very stingy towards the use of his time on specific objectives, but his time and energy were limited. Fang Yuan could only think carefully before cultivating the most important aspects that he had chosen. Such hard work caused Fang Yuan to improve rapidly. Almost every day, he made great progress. The Sovereign Immortal Aperture defied heaven itself. Fang Yuan's hard work was simply inhuman. He was ruthless towards others, but was even stricter and more cruel towards himself. With these two elements, his immortal aperture's development was rapid. Fang Yuan's strength was rising all the time. Half a Month passed like this, until Fang Yuan finally received Chu Du's letter. In the letter, Chu Du invited Fang Yuan to help. Once they succeeded, he would pay Fang Yuan hugely. Chu Du spoke very courteously and humbly, almost as if he had forgotten Fang Yuan was his ally. Chu Du could control himself for so long. It is quite extraordinary. Fine, I will make the trip. Fang Yuan was mentally prepared long ago. He immediately left. A day and a night later, he arrived at the secret meeting location. When he reached, many Gu immortals had already arrived. Senior, you have arrived. The one who came to welcome Fang Yuan was the Chu sect Gu immortal who had went with Fang Yuan to take down Become Dragon Mound. Allow me to make the introductions. These are experts that Master has called for reinforcements. This is Senior Hao Zhen. Hao Zhen had the appearance of a middle-aged man. He had a beard and a muscular body. He nodded at Fang Yuan. This is Senior Cho Lao Wu. Chu sect's Gu immortal continued. Cho Lao Wu had a dismal-looking face. His body was thin and dry. His back was hunched. He smiled at Fang Yuan with his uneven yellow teeth. His appearance was extremely ugly. This is Senior Li Si-chun. The Chu sect Gu immortal said with an evasive gaze. This Gu immortal was quite unique. He had a square face, with thick brows and huge eyes. His nose bridge was very tall. His chest had thick black hair that was exposed. He was a man, but he wore a flowery skirt. Seeing Fang Yuan, his eyes shined brightly as he pulled his flowery skirt, saying seductively, "Oh my goodness, it's a handsome little brother." The Chu sect Gu immortal shuddered. He immediately moved past this person, arriving at the final Gu immortal. This is Senior Immortal Wang Wan. Immortal Wang had a short stature. He had a red nose and triangular little eyes. Looking at Fang Yuan as he said, "We have already introduced ourselves. You are the last one here. Why don't you introduce yourself to us?" Fang Yuan smiled plainly. "I have nothing much to say. I am just a lone cultivator. You can call me Lu Guanyi." Lu Guanyi. The Chu sect Gu immortal quickly memorized this name. This was the first time he had heard Fang Yuan's name, because he easily chased away the Baizu tribe Gu immortal and even took away Become Dragon Mound. He had developed a strong interest and curiosity in Fang Yuan, and even a little admiration. In fact, he was not the only one. The other Chu sect Gu immortals also paid a lot of attention to Fang Yuan. After all, they mainly cultivated strength path. Fang Yuan's strength path battle strength was immense. In this world where strength path was declining, he was like their shining beacon of hope. Lu Guanyi. Hao Zhen muttered, seemingly trying to remember this name. The others also etched this name deep in their minds. To be invited by Chu Du and have the guts to deal with Heavenly Lord Baizu. He was definitely not ordinary. Hao Zhen and the rest had rank 7 cultivation leveled out. Of course, Fang Yuan was currently using familiar face. He was also emitting rank 7 aura. Darling Lu, I heard that you uprooted the entirety of Become Dragon Mound and took it away. You are so capable. Li Si-chun laughed in an enticing manner, approaching Fang Yuan. All of the immortals felt goosebumps over their bodies. Fang Yuan was unmoved. He stared at Li Si-chun with a cold expression. He said plainly, "Stay away from me." The hearts of the other invited immortals shuddered. Fang Yuan emitted a trace of deep killing intent that was bone-chilling. These invited immortals were all knowledgeable people. They instantly knew that this person was an evildoer who had killed countless people and was filled with ruthlessness. The Chu sect Gu immortals around them had little experience. They could not sense Fang Yuan's ferocious nature. The Gu immortal who was doing the introductions for Fang Yuan earlier said, "According to Master's arrangement, us Chu sect Gu immortals have low battle strength. We will not participate. We will be relying on you seniors. Once we succeed, Master will definitely compensate you well. Tell us about the battle plan." Immortal Wang said. The Chu sect Gu immortal said some shocking things. "Master has devised a conclusive plan. Seniors, we hope that you will work together and attack Iron Eagle Blessed Land." At the same time, Snowy Mountain, first peak. The refinement path Gu formation was shining in golden light. It was so condensed it was almost solid, firmly cast over the peak of the snow mountain. Within the light, Lady Wan Shou and old ancestor Shui who were standing in front of Ma Hongyun. Lady Wan Shou was extremely tired. She was carefully taking out a ball of lightning. The ball of lightning was fist-sized. There were sparks inside, creating thunderous sounds. The exterior was protruding at times, at one glance. One could tell this lightning ball was unstable. What? What are you trying to do? No, Noah, Ma Hongyun screamed. He had a frantic expression, but his entire body was immobilized. He could not move. This is the final crucial step, Lady Wansho said, pushing the lightning ball towards Ma Hongyun. The lightning ball quickly fused into Ma Hongyun's chest, vanishing instantly. HHHH. Ma Hongyun was hit by intense waves of lightning. His body was shaking as he raised his head. He was screaming loudly with all his strength. Chapter 1169. Sudden Attack on Iron Eagle Blessed Land. 1/2. Lightning crackled. Ma Hongyun quickly fainted as his eyes rolled over, saliva leaking out of his mouth. He had completely lost consciousness, but his body was still shaking intensely. The lightning started out strong and slowly weakened, until it vanished. Old Ancestor Shui, whose expression sank, and Ma Hongyun's lightning refinement failed. If they succeeded, why would Ma Hongyun still be around? He would be refined by lightning. His flesh and bones would be gone. Only a lump of golden luck essence would be left. Lady Wansho let out a gasp. There was paleness on her beautiful face. She was the one using lightning refinement on Ma Hongyun. It was a crucial step in refining fortune rivaling heaven immortal goo. Now that she failed, Lady Wansho suffered a heavy backlash. She was injured. Dear. Old Ancestor Shui, who had an anxious tone, he expressed concern in his gaze. Lady Wansho smiled at him lightly, saying softly, "Don't worry, I can endure such a level of injury. I just need to rest for half a day, and I will recover." Old Ancestor Shui, who let out a breath. "That is good." Pausing for a while, he continued, "Even though we failed this time, it is fine. This is only the first attempt. We have prepared ample refinement materials." "That's right," Lady Wansho acknowledged. "Even though we failed once and have to start over, this refinement path goo formation preserves much of our beforehand successes. The second refinement will definitely go smoothly. Let me rest for half a day. After I recover, we will start over." How could immortal goo refinement succeed at the first attempt? Especially rank 8 immortal goo. The success rate was absurdly low in the past. When He Fan refined years flow like water immortal goo, he failed consecutively. He even lost confidence in it after many failures. Thus, Old Ancestor Shui Hu and Lady Wansho did not put this failure to heart. They were very confident. "Dear, why the rush? It is fine if you rest for a few days. You may not know yet, another storm is brewing in northern plains. Heavenly Lord Baizu and Chu Du are fighting over the ownership of He Fan Grotto Heaven. Right now, they are in a deadlock, but I am sure Chu Du has backup plans. He has just not used them yet." Old Ancestor Shui Hu smiled, explaining the details to her. "Oh." Lady Wansho heard this, and joy flashed across her face. Old Ancestor Shui, who was refining fortune rivaling heaven immortal goo. The risks involved were not just the rank 8 immortal goo refinement itself. Northern Plains had other rank 8 goo immortals. They were unwilling to see Old Ancestor Shui who obtain a rank 8 immortal goo and become even stronger. Thus, Old Ancestor Shui who had to keep a close watch on these rank 8 existences, since Heavenly Lord Baizu was fighting with Chu Du now. For Old Ancestor Shui Hu, it was a wonderful thing. However, after Lady Wansho heard his words, she shook her head firmly, rejecting Old Ancestor Shui Hu's suggestion. "I only need half a day of rest." This refinement path goo formation was created by Sun Ming Lu, who mimicked Regret Pool. It has several functions of Regret Pool, but it can only last for a day. Resting half a day is the limit. I need to refine goo using the rest of the time. So that's it. Old Ancestor Shui Hu realized. He said with much concern, "Dear, it has been hard on you. No matter, it is an extremely exciting thing for me to be able to refine a rank 8 immortal goo." Lady Wansho's eyes shone with dazzling brilliance. That night, moonlight shone on the grasslands. Several figures approached Iron Eagle Blessed Land stealthily. They were Fang Yuan, Hao Zhen, Chou Lao Wu, Li Si Chun, and Immortal Wang. Iron Eagle Blessed Land was He Tribe's headquarters originally, but after they were wiped out, Heavenly Lord Baizu took over and made it the main base of Baizu Tribe at this moment. Iron Eagle Blessed Land was hidden in empty space. It could not be seen from the Outside, Fang Yuan took a glance, only to see that the green grass was reflecting the moonlight like a lake. It was extremely lush. The night's winds blew on one's face, like the hands of one's lover. It was a harmonious scene, but Fang Yuan and his fellow Gu immortals were overflowing with battle intent. Flames were burning in their hearts. Chu Du's battle plan made Fang Yuan feel admiration towards him. Chu Du endured for half a month. It was not a short time. He planned secretly and gathered his strength, bursting it out as he attacked the enemy's base. If Iron Eagle-blessed land were to be successfully taken down, it would greatly influence Baizu tribe. Heavenly Lord Baizu might truly be forced to return and give up on Fan Grotto Heaven. Chu Du has some brains indeed. He is taking advantage of Baizu tribe's inner conflict. Hao Jin smiled. Baizu tribe took in He tribe. They assimilated the He tribe Gu immortals. Even though the He tribe Gu immortals changed their surnames to Baizu, they have genuine Huang Jin bloodline. They are being ostracized. Just now, almost all of He tribe's Gu immortals were sent out to defend the important resource points. But the Baizu Gu immortals were staying guard inside Iron Eagle-blessed land. Cho Lao Wu added, because Chu sect's Gu immortals were hidden, they could attack at any time. Baizu tribe's outside resources could not be unguarded. This type of defense mission was very difficult. It was far more dangerous than guarding Iron Eagle-blessed land. After all, the Gu formations at the resource points were rebuilt after they were destroyed earlier. Because these points were far from each other, when a single Gu immortal defended one area, it was easy for many enemies to attack them at once. Darling Chu is simply a heroic genius. I was thinking earlier, which resource point should we choose to attack this time for Darling Chu? But to think that we would attack Iron Eagle-blessed land directly. Every time I think about Darling Chu, my heart pounds so quickly. He is really amazing. Li Si-chun curled his flowery fingers as he clutched his chest, showing a look of attraction and infatuation. Hao Jun and Cho Lao Wu beside him felt their hair standing. They quickly moved away from him, as far as possible. All right, we have to strike fast. Who has a method to break into Iron Eagle-blessed land? Why are you not going ahead with it? Fang Yuan asked coldly. Li Si-chun's eyes shined brightly. Darling Lu is so cool. I am really moved. Fang Yuan said expressionlessly. F***ck off, will you? Li Si-chun gasped, holding his chest as he took a few steps back, shaking his head. I am so upset. My heart is about to shatter. As if he could not stand Li Si-chun's amorous words, Immortal Wang stood up, like what Fang Yuan had estimated. Among them, someone had a way to break into blessed lands rapidly. This was not Fang Yuan's confidence in these strangers. It was his confidence in Chu Du. He was an intelligent person. Why would he not think of this when devising a plan to attack Iron Eagle-blessed land? Immortal Wang's throat emitted a sound. His aura rose intensely as countless Gu worm auras emanated from his body. With a bright flash, Immortal Wang turned into a giant hound. This hound had white fur, like snow. It had 4 strong limbs and a big head. Its eyes were pale and colorless, without any pupils. Li Si-chun gasped as he cried out. This is an immemorial desolate beast, heaven-swallowing hound. Hao Jun and Cho Lao Wu looked at each other, feeling joy and surprise. Did it mean he had rank 8 battle strength? Fang Yuan shook his head calmly. Even if he became a heaven-swallowing hound, he only has rank 7 cultivation level. How can he have rank 8 battle strength? If he did, why would Fang Yuan, Hao Jun, and the rest need to come? Just Immortal Wang alone could take down Iron Eagle-blessed land. Furthermore, if he had rank 8 battle strength, he would be famous in Northern Plains. How could Chu Du invite him over so easily? At this moment, the heaven-swallowing hound that Immortal Wang turned into burst out with countless Gu worm auras again. These auras intertwined. Instantly, another immortal killer move was conjured. The heaven-swallowing hound suddenly opened its mouth, biting at the space in front of it. Space shook. A shadow was torn out, entering the heaven-swallowing hound's mouth. Next, shocked shouts could be heard. Who is it? You dare to devour our Iron Eagle-blessed land. Enemy attack. Like the shattering of a mirror, a huge gap was created. Fang Yuan and the others could see the scene inside Iron Eagle-blessed land. The Baizu Gu immortals reacted quickly, Several figures flew over, wanting to block Fang Yuan and the rest. Immortal Wang turned back to human form, saying weakly, "I need to recuperate. It is up to all of you now." Seeing his pale face, turning into the immemorial desolate beast was clearly beyond his limits. Or perhaps, that immortal killer move earlier had a strong drawback. Boom! Fang Yuan stomped, creating a huge pit on the ground. Before Immortal Wang finished his words, he had shot out like a cannon. Charging over imposingly, he was the first to invade, entering Iron Eagle blessed land. Such guts! Look at our immortal Gu. The Gu immortals from Baizu tribe faced him. Among them, there were rank 6 and 7 Gu immortals. They attacked fiercely. Fang Yuan snorted, pushing with his right hand. With a loud sound, air burst as a huge giant hand slammed in that direction. Fighting offense with offense, Fang Yuan displayed incredible battle strength. He was extremely powerful. The strength path giant hand crushed the layers of attacks by the Baizu Gu immortals. Thereafter, it flew towards the Baizu Gu immortals. But after blocking the attacks earlier, the strength path giant hand did not have enough force left. A Baizu Gu immortal attacked fiercely. With a swoosh, countless golden needles flew out of his mouth. In the blink of an eye, it pierced countless holes in the giant hand. Before flying towards Fang Yuan, a cold light flashed deep within Fang Yuan's dark eyes. Sword escape, Immortal Gu. In an instant, his speed rose drastically. He flew deep into Iron Eagle blessed land like a flying sword. Baizu tribe's Gu immortals were shocked by his speed. Hao Zhen, Chou Lao Wu, and Li Si Chun, these three immortals behind him, were very shocked too. They were hoping that Fang Yuan would be in front, diverting the firepower away from them. But would Fang Yuan let them take advantage of him? At the next moment, a Gu immortal from Baizu tribe chased after Fang Yuan relentlessly. The other Gu immortals remained on the spot, blocking Hao Zhen, Chou Lao Wu, and Li Si Chun. Countless attacks flew out like torrential rain. A chaotic battle ensued. The Gu immortals could not care about anything else. They were all stuck here. Fang Yuan flew into the sky. His investigative methods had been activated long ago. He could see many traces left behind during the Battle of He Tribe. Chapter 1170. Sudden Attack on Iron Eagle Blessed Land. Two halves. Even though Iron Eagle Blessed Land was taken over by Baizu tribe, it had only operated for a short time. Even though it was being renewed, it was still far from He tribe's prime. Fang Yuan's eyes shined. He could see many eagle nests floating in the sky. There are few resources on the ground, but the sky has at least 100 eagle nests. It seems that Baizu tribe's strategy is to develop Iron Eagle Blessed Land's specialty and fully place effort in raising Iron Crown Eagles and other desolate beasts. Fang Yuan realized this was clearly a good strategy. Raising desolate beasts and selling them in Treasure Yellow Heaven would grant a huge profit for each of them. Last time, I could not be here for the destruction of He tribe. This time, I can earn a huge profit and snatch all of these eagle nests. Fang Yuan felt excitement. He was very perceptive. At one glance, he could tell that in the entirety of Iron Eagle Blessed Land, the most valuable thing were these eagle nests. And there was a crucial point. These eagle nests were easy to take, unlike the other resources. Evil scoundrel, stop. Behind him, a Baizu tribe Gu immortal was frantically shouting. It seems that I need to get rid of this problem. Fang Yuan sneered, turning around and charging towards the pursuer. This pursuer was called Baizu Wei. He had rank 7 cultivation level, and was the leader of the defenders of Iron Eagle Blessed Land. Just earlier, he was the one who sent out all of He tribe's Gu immortals to the resource points in the outside world to defend them. He felt that Iron Eagle Blessed Land was still safe. But Chu Du's strategies had outmaneuvered him. This attack came too quickly when Fang Yuan and the others attacked. It was like lightning had struck Baizu Wei's heart. If Iron Eagle Blessed Land suffered a huge loss, as the leader, he would have to bear the responsibility. Thus, he was very anxious now. He made up his mind. Even if he had to put his life on the line, he had to defend Iron Eagle Blessed Land. Thus, Baizu Wei's facial muscles moved when he saw Fang Yuan charging at him. He showed a ruthless expression. He did not dodge. Instead, he rushed at Fang Yuan with an even fiercer stance. Oh! Fang Yuan's gaze shined. he saw that his opponent's body was shining in golden light. A metal path go immortal? He seems to be very confident in his defense. Fang Yuan had this thought in his mind as he turned around, flying in the backward left direction. Sword escape, immortal Gu's speed was extraordinary, but he did not gain any distance from Bai Zhu Wei. He used his immortal killer move. His speed was not any slower. Even though Bai Zhu tribe's Gu immortals have always lived inside Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu's grotto heaven, they are not weak at all because of this rank 8 Gu immortals nurturing. Then, let me see your investigative methods. Fang Yuan's body shook. He used the immortal killer move Myriad Self. Rumble. At the next moment, countless Fang Yuan phantoms appeared, filling up half of the sky. Bai Zhu Wei's expression of rage and anxiety froze. He used his investigative killer move next. His eyes turned golden. 2 rays of light seemed to be shooting out from his eyes as he started looking around. My investigative immortal killer move was created by Heavenly Lord himself. No matter where you are hiding, how can you escape my detection? Bai Zhu Wei was confident. But next, after a few breaths of time, he was stunned. How? How can this be? Where is his true body? I can't see it. He was extremely shocked. He would not know. Even though his investigative killer move was good, Fang Yuan's familiar face was immensely better. The former was created by Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu, but the latter was a move famously used by thieving heaven demon Venerable. Boom, boom, boom. Eagle nests broke open as Fang Yuan manipulated the myriad self-army, attacking these eagle nests with full force. In the eagle nests, there were young eagles and eggs that had not hatched yet. Their homes were wrecked. The young eagles were chirping, moving out and fighting with Fang Yuan's phantoms. Fang Yuan's phantoms had low quality. They could not fight against the young desolate beast eagles. However, the number of phantoms was too high. They could attack from every direction. The young desolate beast eagles could not defend the nests. Soon, eagle nests were destroyed as they fell from the sky. No! Bai Zhu Wei shouted, rushing over, using a metal path killer move to try and catch an eagle nest that was falling. He next carefully placed it on the ground as it descended. Using this chance, Fang Yuan revealed his true self. He used Strength Path Giant Hand and grabbed an eagle nest, stuffing it into his immortal aperture. His immortal aperture's entrance opened and closed, stuffing an eagle nest inside. Bai Zhu Wei saved the eagle nest in front of him. He had just let out a breath of air when he saw this scene. Immediately, his eyes turned red as he furiously shouted, "No! Damn thief! Return our eagle nest." Saying this, he pounced at Fang Yuan with a ferocious aura. Fang Yuan's lips curled. He smiled sinisterly as he entered the myriad self-army, manipulating these strength path phantoms to scatter. Bai Zhu Wei was stunned. His investigative method could not expose familiar face. He could only attack randomly, betting on chance. But how could his luck surpass Fang Yuan, who had dog shit luck immortal Gu, and had also used connect luck on 4 lucky people? Like this, Fang Yuan manipulated the myriad self-army, attacking eagle nests everywhere. Bai Zhu Wei was alone and could not find Fang Yuan's true body. He could only rush everywhere, desperately salvaging the situation. Fang Yuan used this chance to strike, taking more eagle nests into his immortal aperture. Bai Zhu Wei roared angrily, but he was helpless to stop him. His lungs were bursting from anger. He screamed at the top of his lungs, "Shameless thief! Fight me fairly and openly if you have the balls to do so." Fang Yuan ignored him. Bai Zhu Wei screamed again, "You cowardly bastard! You are running around like a rat. How dare you invade my Bai Zhu tribe?" Fang Yuan stored another eagle nest. Bai Zhu Wei had bloodshot eyes. His voice was hoarse. "You will not remain smug for long. You have offended Lord Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu. Even if you run to the ends of the world, we will find you and deal with you." Fang Yuan laughed heartily, chanting on the spot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The eagle nests are in my hands. What can Bai Zhu tribe's Gu immortals do to me? Guh. Bai Zhu Wei spat out a mouthful of blood from pure anger. In fact, these eagle nests were managed by him. He poured his blood and sweat into each of them. Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu would not care about these things. He trusted and gave him the authority to manage them. But Bai Zhu tribe did not have much resources. Bai Zhu Wei was putting in a lot of effort to try and increase the resource production. These eagle nests were his biggest hope in helping Bai Zhu tribe ascend and break free from financial problems. But these beautiful prospects were ruined by this accursed Fang Yuan. I will not let you off. I will not let you off even if I die. Bai Zuwei screamed. He was spitting out blood and having a shrill voice. But the hatred in his voice made immortal Wang, who had just arrived, feel a chill down his spine. How many eagle nests did this Lu Guanyi take to make Bai Zuwei so enraged? Immortal Wang reacted. He felt envious and jealous. He wanted the person Bai Zuwei was cursing to be himself. Hao Zhen, Chou Lao Wu, and Li Si Chun were still fighting. Where is Immortal Wang? He entered the place. This dog actually went on a detour and made a new entrance at the back. The three immortals conversed. They were anxious and furious. They wanted to go inside too and scavenge for resources, but Baizu Tribe's Gu immortals were blocking their entry. These Baizu Tribe Gu immortals could not be killed. Fang Yuan knew this. Hao Zhen and the rest also knew that this was their bottom line. Baizu Tribe was just established. They only had these few Gu immortals. They were all nurtured by Heavenly Lord Baizu. If they died, it would mean becoming enemies with Heavenly Lord Baizu without any hope of reconciliation. If Heavenly Lord Baizu did not take revenge, he would not have any face to remain in northern plains. Attacking Iron Eagle blessed land and making Baizu Tribe lose some resources, or even killing some He Tribe Gu immortals was fine. The important thing was, these Baizu Tribe Gu immortals could not die. Chu Du had placed much emphasis on this point before they went. Chu Du did not want to be a mortal enemy with Heavenly Lord Baizu. In terms of strength, Baizu Tribe's Gu immortals were inferior to Hao Zhen, Chou Lao Wu, and Li Si Chun. These three ranked 7 Gu immortals, but they were united and fought together. The 3 immortals were actually suppressed instead. Li Si Chun shouted, "Let's retreat first." The other 2 immortals reacted, immediately moving back. Baizu Tribe's Gu immortals chased after them. As the 3 immortals split up, "Quickly come back. This is the outside world of northern plains. We are not reinforced by Iron Eagle blessed land. There are already enemies inside the blessed land. Let's go back and help Lord Wei." Baizu Tribe's Gu immortals chased for a while before returning to Iron Eagle blessed land. The 3 immortals saw a chance and flew back immediately. Among them, Li Si Chun went to the entrance created by Immortal Wang, successfully getting into Iron Eagle blessed land. Baizu Tribe's Gu immortals were panicking. The entrance could not be blocked anymore. Even if they went to the bigger gap in space, they could not change the situation. They were also concerned about Baizu Wei's safety. After all, 3 rank 7 Gu immortals had already entered Iron Eagle blessed land. Let's go find Lord Wei first. This was a wise decision. Without anyone guarding it, Hao Zhen and Chou Lao Wu got into the blessed land as well. Quick, quick, we are the last ones in. Go and see what resources there are, and get them for ourselves. Hao Zhen and Chou Lao Wu were extremely hurried. The Gu immortals needed resources to cultivate. This was their foundation for cultivation. Without resources, they could do nothing. This time, the immortals came to attack Baizu Tribe. Their own objective was to gain benefits. Without profits, how could anyone resolve themselves to offend a rank 8 Gu immortal? All right, these soft jades are all mine. Li Si Chun licked his lips, unsatisfied. The soft jade beach in front of him was newly built by Baizu Tribe. Unfortunately, there were only a few hundred soft jades on the beach. The largest one was only basin-sized. Li Si Chun was not satisfied. This is the 3rd resource point I have found. There are so little resources. Damn, Baizu Tribe is so poor. What's the point of trying to become a super force? Li Si Chun stood with his hands on his waist as he cursed. Oh? Wait, no. He raised his head, looking at the sky with a flickering gaze. Damn, why did I forget about this? He patted his forehead, rapidly flying into the sky. There were only 3 eagle nests in the sky. Countless Fang Yuan phantoms were still flying in the sky, diverting Baizu Wei's attention. Fang Yuan's true body was hidden among them. No matter how Baizu Wei cursed him, he refused to come out.